Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're living in this crazy world we're living, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Now I'm a little bit giddy because, well, first of all, the reason why I'm here, that this video that I'm doing and what I'm going to tell you about. What's the matter? The dog, I think she's crying because she wants me to play with her. Because Erin Patterson, the mushroom murderess, her sentencing is going to be screened live. This is the first time in Australian Supreme Court history, apparently. So that's what we're going to talk about. That was the reason for making this video. Now, just sorry, bear with me a minute because I just need to put a post out to say that I'm live. To talk about this. And then the other reason that I'm giddy, which is completely nothing to do with true crime. Right, one sec. Is for those of you who've been watching, who watch my channel regularly and like the waffle and stay on for the waffle, you know that I've been having a saga with my shower that broke. Sorry if I do this because I'm spelling everything wrong because I'm not concentrating on the post. I'm trying to talk and write a post at the same time and it's not working. So one sec. All right. That's interesting. While I was just there on the post, see that most of you prefer deep dives. You know, I'll put right, let's have a look at that. Sorry, I am waffling. I'm waffling on, but there you go. Some of you like the waffle. If you don't like the waffle, you need to come back in 10 minutes, really. Just trying to show you this post. Yeah, put a post up. If you haven't voted, go and vote on this post. Because I asked at the beginning of September, let me know if Toy, that's supposed to be you, of course. I'll have to change that. Please let me know if you prefer deep dives of cases or shorter overviews. See how that's all spelt wrong? That's what happens when trying to do things quickly. And overwhelmingly, you voted for deep dives, 56%, 12% short overviews, and 32% either. 25 votes. So if you want to, you know, make your thoughts known, go on the community posts and vote on that. But anyway, it's interesting to know because, you know, I like doing short overviews sometimes, and then people sometimes say, oh, you're going to do a deeper dive on this, or vice versa. I do a long video and people come on and say, oh, your videos are too long, I'd watch them more if they were shorter. So I'll probably just carry on doing a mixture, try and keep everybody happy. That's what I want, that you're all happy. I hope you're all happy. But yeah, so cheers, because I am having a beer to celebrate. It is 11:30. Oh no, it's nearly 12 o'clock here. Not that it would bother me. If I wanted to celebrate, I'd have a beer whatever time it was. But literally I'm celebrating. So this bloody shower thing. So yeah, right in the middle of summer, you know, a couple of weeks ago, my shower hose, well, it was the other end. This end just disintegrated. The shower head disintegrated. And, you know, it's just age and overuse. And, you know, I thought it'd just be a simple thing of just changing the shower head. So if you've been watching my channel regularly, you'll know that the problem that I had was this part, which goes on the tap, screws up into, it's like a double tap shower system. And this thing was in here and I couldn't get it off. Oh, shit. Sorry. Dropped it. It wouldn't unscrew. It was stuck. Absolutely jam solid stuck. I couldn't get it undone. My son couldn't get it undone. I took it to hardware shops. They couldn't get it undone. So I thought, oh, it'd just be a matter of buying another one of these. Easy. No. Apparently this is attached to the tap, is part of the tap itself, the system, the shower system. And so I was told I couldn't buy just that. I had to have a whole new tap system, etc., which probably cost a couple of €100, whereas, a new one of these would literally probably be €5, if that. So I've been all over trying to get it sorted out. And yesterday I went to the hardware store, bought what was supposed to be a universal attachment thing, but I knew it wasn't really. I knew it wouldn't be. Anyway, it wasn't. So I took that back today. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to give in. I'm going to have to get a new system and sort of fork out a couple of €100. Because, just can't be without a shower. Anyway, the other shower head that I bought to go on here, I've now put on the roof because I've got a shower up on the roof terrace. And, well, I did have, and then that was broken. Everything's breaking. My house is just too old. When everything just starts breaking? Now the cooker's gone. But anyway, that's all. I won't bore you with that. That's a whole nother story. So I put the shower head that I bought to go downstairs. I put it up on the roof. So I have been showering up on the roof. So at least I've been able to have a shower. But, it's a long way up. It's 2-3 floors up to my roof. So, don't really feel, it's not easy, convenient like just the other one. So just before I started this live, God, I'm so exhilarated. Can you tell? I'm quite giddy because this has been really bugging me. I've been Googling ways of unsticking these type of things, when the threads get stuck with lime scale, etc. And I'd soaked it in vinegar and bicarbonate of soda. I mean, it's probably all helped, to be honest. Anyway, one of the many ideas was hold a lighter to it and warm up the metal. And that will often loosen the cal, or lime scale. Cal it is in Spanish. So that's what I did. Literally 10 minutes before I came on this live, I thought, I'm just going to try that because I've got like a long lighter, and so I did that and it came off. Oh my God, I'm so pleased. Now I haven't got a shower hose now because I've put it on the shower upstairs, but they're not expensive. It's only about a tenner to get a new one, and I hopefully by the end of the day will have a shower. This can go in the bin. This is the old hose. I mean, the hose actually. Is the hose still all right? I think the hose is okay. It was anyway, it's going in the bin. I'll get a new shower with a new shower hose that will just attach on there. That's in the bin. I'm just thrilled. So that's quite thrilling, something that's happened today. It's unusual for something to go right, it feels like sometimes. As I say, the cooker's gone weird now. The hob, when you turn it on, you don't have to turn it on. When you even if the electric's on leading to the cooker, it just comes on, sort of comes on, goes off, comes on, goes off. So the only way to turn it off, it's all right while you're cooking and you want it to be on and that, though you've got to watch it all the time so it gets really hot. And then to turn it off, you have to actually flick it off at the electric thing. It won't turn off just normally. So it's happened once before, and then it just suddenly started working okay again. So it was panic over. Now it's happened again. So, I need a new one. I know that, but not yet. Just I've got so many things anyway. Do you know, as I say, my house is old, so it's got lots of things like the toilet needs repairing. There's another water thing up on the shower, like to the hose, that's broken, the handle's broken off through age. Lots of little things. These tiles need replacing. In the end, houses, they start getting all these when they get to a certain age, like us. they start getting all these little problems, don't they? You just hope it doesn't add up into a big problem. Anyway, so I'm really pleased. I'm so happy with that. I am so happy with that. Do you imagine that just a little thing like that would cause so much stress? Just unbelievable. Anyway, I was that excited. Didn't even put my banner on. I want to say thank you to you all, first of all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And special thank you to my members. It's Members Live again tomorrow night. I'm not sure what we're going to do. I think we're going to do some more paranormal. The paranormal and the UFOs, etc., seem popular amongst the members. So we'll probably do something like that. I've not quite decided. Any of you are a member and you've got any suggestions of what you would like to see in the Members Live, just let me know. What else? Thank you to those of you who've bought me Ko-fis, those of you that have bought merchandise. Remember, my merchandise is on my Ko-fi page. Thank you to those of you who sent super stickers or PayPal'd me, or any way you've contributed positively to my channel. Thank you so much. Right, let's get these off now, and then we can start saying hello to everyone. Take that off. Take the banner off. Let me know how all you are doing on this Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday, of course. Let me know what your weather's like. My weather is better. It's 28 degrees, still hot, but it's nothing like it was, so it is livable at least. So yeah, let me know what you're up to today, where you come from, but not too specific. What you'll be up to today and how you're feeling. Okay. So, hello, lovely lurkers. Thank you so much for watching. The lovely lurkers are those people who like to watch, but they don't like watch the lives, but don't like to join in the chat. Hi, loathsome lurkers. Hi, replay crew. Thank you so much for watching. And now let's come into the chat. I've stopped waffling now. Hey, Bluebell. You had a process. God, I've had 2 mouthfuls of beer. I can't speak. You had a Prosecco tonight. Oh, I like a bit of Prosecco, though I prefer Cava. Hi, Lily. Cheers. Oh, Bluebell, you don't get limescale in Australia. Really? Gosh. It's terrible here. The water in this area is terrible. But I've got to be honest. I mean, that part, I moved into this house about, 25 years ago. So it's not done bad, really. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Yvonne. The kettle sparkling inside. Now, funnily enough, the kettle doesn't seem to be that bad, but I think the kettles that you buy here now, they're fitted with something, there's something in there that helps with the limescale, because it's actually, they used to be terrible, but I don't think that this kettle that I've got at the moment doesn't really get any limescale, so it must have must be treated. Maybe it's got a special finish on the inside. I don't know, to be honest, but I haven't, used to have to put those tablets in, or you can put these like little sponges in that pick up all the limescale, but I haven't had to do that with this particular kettle. So but and believe me, the water's better than it used to be. I mean, you can drink it, it's drinkable, it's just never cold. It's drinkable, it's not a problem in that sense. But yeah, it's never cold, so you have to really put it, if you want your water cold, you have to either put ice in it or put it in the fridge or whatever, but you can drink it. Whereas years ago, you couldn't remember that. That was the old adage thing, wasn't it, about Spain, don't drink the water. It's the other way around now, isn't it? It's like when you go to the UK, I wouldn't drink the water out the tap in the UK now. That's what privatisation does to you with utilities and things. It's funny, in Spain, they've just gone off. You know, when I first came to Spain, to this area, all the water companies were private, really, or small companies, you know, owned by the people who own the land or whatever, and the water was disgusting. But now they've been taken over by companies. I don't know if they belong to the state, but better companies, you know, more national companies, and the water is, well, certainly here, really good, and I would definitely drink it without even worrying about it. It used to be you couldn't even boil your potatoes in it, or you brush your teeth in it. It was that disgusting, but not now. So there you go. Okay, so let's have a look at this news now. I was so happy about this because, you know, I mean, not that we're not going to see Erin. So just let me make it clear straight away. Although the actual sentencing of Erin Patterson, the mushroom murderess, is going to be live streamed. And this is the first time in Australian history, Supreme Court history, that this has happened. So this will be in the Supreme Court. You know, the trial was actually local, wasn't it? Was it Morwell it was called? You know, Erin chose not to have her trial in Melbourne. But this will be in Melbourne. Let's just have a look at a quick video, first of all. I mean, it's quite, it's amazing, really, isn't it, when you think about it? Where are we? I think it's on here. No, not that one. Let's see if I can find it up here. I need to put some windows down, don't I, actually? As usual, I've got too many windows open. So I was doing other stuff. I just came on here a bit last minute. Sorry. Here's one.
In the Supreme Court on Monday morning with a TV camera. History will be made in the Supreme Court on Monday morning with a TV camera allowed to film and broadcast the sentencing of Erin Patterson. True crime enthusiasts can watch Justice Beale deliver the penalty for the mushroom murderer at 9:30. Erin Patterson's sentence will have a 10-second delay and will be streamed across all of Seven's social media platforms.
So I will be live for this sentencing. 9:30 Australian time. You know, it'll take me ages to work out what time that'll be here in Spain. 9:30 Australian time. That's middle of the night, probably, more or less, isn't it, for me? Or early hours of the morning, but it doesn't matter what time it is. I will be streaming live. I will put out a notification because we don't want to miss that, do we? Right, I've got another little video. There are just short videos, really, saying that. Where's the other one gone? Don't you dare. Let's find this one. Right, it's on Twitter. Okay, let's. So, here's another one. Just a short news item.
History will be made in the Supreme Court on Monday morning with a TV camera allowed to broadcast the sentencing of mushroom murderer Erin Patterson. Bethan Yeoman has tonight's developments, and Beth, true crime enthusiasts will learn Patterson's fate as soon as she does.
Yeah.
Mitch, for the first time in Victorian Supreme Court history, a judge will allow a camera to film and broadcast the sentencing live. At 9:30 on Monday morning, Justice Christopher Beale will reveal how long the triple murderer will spend behind bars. The case and the cover-up captivated the world, and the sentencing is shaping up to do the same. Monday's live stream will have just a 10-second delay, and only Justice Beale will be shown on screen. 7 will broadcast the sentencing live and ad-free on our main channel, giving viewers an unprecedented fly-on-the-wall look as justice is served to the killer cook. Mitch.
Bethan Yeoman at the Supreme Court, thank you.
Yeah, and we'll be there.
History will be made.
I hope you'll be there with me. We've followed this case, as I say, right from the beginning, haven't we? You know, we've covered the whole thing. We went through the trial. All of it, right from day one, haven't we? Although it was months, wasn't it? But I think I've blocked it out of my mind now. It just seemed to go on forever. It was supposed to last 6 weeks, wasn't it? And it went on for 3 months or something. Anyway, it's good that it did, because I think the reason for that is, you know, you can't say that any details were overlooked, you know, and Erin was given her chance to speak. She spoke for about 3 days, didn't she, in her own defence? Nobody else spoke in her defence, only her. No character witnesses, even her mate, Ali didn't speak a character witness in her defence. Her sister didn't speak for her. Nobody spoke for her except Erin, but didn't work, did it? The jury saw through all her lies, because it was lie after lie after lie, wasn't it? You know, she really is a Pinocchio. And it's her lies that undid her, I think, because I think that's what made the jury find her guilty. Because they knew she was a liar. Personally, that's what I think. Anyway, she's guilty, and it's just a matter of now sentencing. Just say hello to people that have come in. I think I said hello to... Hi, Maria. Yes, I feel sorry for her children as well, Bluebell. So be interesting to see who's there. Now, we won't see anyone who's in court. We won't see Erin. We will only see the judge giving his sentence. A bit like that's what they do in Britain now, isn't it? The sentences are public. Now, just somebody was asking there, I think, Yvonne, when is the Patrick Stevenson case? It's not till next year. I think it's something like April or May. You know, it's ages yet until the Patrick Stevenson case. But yeah, somebody else said it would be interesting to see if there'll be any cameras for his sentencing. Well, presuming he's found guilty. Of course, there's so much to come out there. You know, that is so frustrating. Now, people quite often ask me, oh, what's happening in the Samantha Murphy case? Nothing and everything. Everything's happening behind the scenes, I'm sure, but nothing's happening in public. We're at that stage in the Samantha Murphy case where everything is secret. You know, we're not getting any evidence coming out or any details at all. Samantha still has not been found. So as far as we can assume, Patrick is not cooperating still if he's guilty. And then, of course, there was that every now and again we get a brief flurry of excitement, don't we? You know, there was searches recently and Patrick actually went out to the scene. But, you know, as far as we know, nothing was found. So I'm sure the police are still searching for Samantha, using their data, electronic data and whatever, to try and pinpoint where she is. I think she's in a mine. You know, I had that dream about her very early on in the case. She was deceased, unfortunately. And that video that I talk about that is on my members section. She was sitting up, sort of sitting up, deceased but sitting up. That's the dream I had about her. very early on in the case, even before anyone was arrested for a murder. So I didn't. I made it. I did a members video. I didn't want to make it public. I may make it public now, actually, because at the time it hadn't been said that she was deceased, so I didn't think it was right. I didn't talk about it for a while, and when I did finally talk about it, I think it might have been after they were saying she was deceased. It was only on the members that I spoke about it. And yeah, she was deceased, but she was sitting up. It's hard to explain, so I don't know if she was in a mine shaft. I'm not saying that's where she is. I'm just telling you about the dream I had about her. Yeah. I mean, she's somewhere, isn't she? You know, at the end of the day, Samantha Murphy is somewhere, and maybe one day her remains will be unearthed. Or maybe one day Patrick, if he is guilty, because he's only alleged so far, he will come clean and say where she is. I certainly hope so, for her family's sake. Because they know that she's deceased. The police have told them she is deceased. Now, there'll be a reason why the police are saying that. Have they seen CCTV of Patrick Stevenson, handling a body? Maybe. That's possibly why they're saying she's deceased. A bit like with Madeleine Soto. The police said very early on, before Madeleine was found, that they thought she was deceased because they'd seen the CCTV of her in the car. So that could be, someone else. Hi, Maria. So, yeah, the woman kidnapped and burnt in her car in Sydney. Which one? There's been two, hasn't there? There was one a while ago. That seemed to be some sort of triad thing. And then there was another one, recently. Well, I'm glad they've arrested someone, but do you know what? Doesn't bring them back, does it? But what is this? Imagine being kidnapped, Anyway, and told that you were going to be killed. Awful. But anyway. So let's have a look at the characters, the people in this situation. Now, of course, a very important person is Justice Beale. So this is the judge. This is Justice Christopher Beale. He was the presiding judge over this case. Now, sometimes he was a little bit irritating because he made jokes, what I thought were inappropriate jokes, but I don't know what people really think of it. But it turns out he was very thorough with everything. I do think Justice Beale has tried to do everything correctly. He let the case, take such a long time. He was very nice to the jury. I thought he was very sympathetic towards Erin, gave Erin every opportunity to put over her side of things. And the jury didn't believe her. She thought she could win that jury over. I think she just thought it'd be a jury of sort of bumpkins almost, that she could convince over, like she did with her victims. She thought that jury in that small town would be like her victims, innocent, trusting, naive, gullible, whichever way you want. You can put a positive thing on it or a negative thing. These victims of Erin, they were vulnerable. They were trusting. They would never have thought in a million years that she would try and kill them the way she did. And I think she thought the jury there in that little town would be more easy to pull the wool over their eyes than it would for some more worldly wise jury from Melbourne. That's my opinion anyway. So yeah, he was very, we must never forget the victims. You know that in every video that I do, we talk about the victims. These are the important people, and Erin's children, of course, because they haven't done anything wrong. It's their bad luck that they just happen to have, bloody Lady Mushroom Macbeth for a mother. So we've got Don, of course, that's Simon's dad. So that's Erin's ex-father-in-law, or she was estranged from her husband. his wife Gail, her sister Heather, and Heather's husband Ian, who was the only one who is still alive. Will he be there? Now, his victim impact statement was very emotional, wasn't it? He's such a nice man, a kind man. So he's forgiven Erin. Well, as long as she admits to what she's done. You can't forgive someone who doesn't admit to what they've done. So although his forgiveness is conditional, isn't it? The condition is admit what you've done and I forgive you. But if you don't admit what you've done, you can't forgive someone, can you? So I'm presuming he'll be there, and the rest of the family, obviously, the family of the victims will be there. And we'll see what Justice Beale has to say. I mean, you always want more, don't you? I'd love to be able to see the whole courtroom. I'd love to be able to see Erin's reaction. I'm sure the court sketch artists, how good they are. I'm sure they'll all be there, and we'll have some new sketches of Erin to try and find people that she looks like on them. So this as well, I think, is the star, if you like, of this court case, the success of this conviction. Nanette Rogers, Dr. Nanette Rogers, she was the prosecution lawyer. She was brilliant. She planned out her whole prosecution. She called over 50 witnesses. She caught Erin out in so many lies. It just made it impossible for the jury to find her innocent. This is the guy who had the most unenviable job, I think, Colin Mandy, the defense lawyer. And even he has admitted that he thinks this should be a life sentence. Because the thing is, if you're, whether you're a defense lawyer or a prosecution lawyer, and as you know, I couldn't be a defense lawyer. I couldn't defend someone like Erin, knowing in my heart that she was actually guilty of killing these poor people. I just couldn't. But hey, someone's got to do it. That's what he does. Even he, as I say, so even defense lawyers, once the verdict has come through, that is the system. She's guilty. Even if you were a defense lawyer that really, really thought your client was innocent, once the guilty verdict comes in, really, you've got to accept it. This is I remember a guy from the Delphi murders saying, a policeman, this is our system. If you don't like our system, don't live in this country. You can't only accept justice as fair when it's your opinion. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if Erin would have been found not guilty, I would have been fuming. But that's the system. At the end of the day, everyone's entitled to a free trial. Everyone's entitled to give their evidence. And in fact, the person who's being prosecuted, they don't have to prove anything. The onus is on the prosecution to prove that they did it. The defense don't really have to prove that they didn't do it. They're innocent till proven guilty. But Colin will have had to accept, Mr. Mandy will have accepted the fact that his client is guilty. And then we'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be an appeal. It's possible. I would imagine Erin would want to appeal, but I wonder if she did appeal, if she would have to find a new lawyer, because he's her second lawyer anyway. She got rid of the first one, didn't she? So I'm sure if Mr. Mandy advises her not to appeal, she'll probably get rid of him as well, because she's the queen bee. She's the one in control. If she can't control Colin, then he'll go and she'll get another one, won't she? So these are the main sort of people that we saw through the trial. Christopher Beale, the judge, Nanette Rogers, the prosecution lawyer, and Colin Mandy, the defense lawyer. Also, of course, who gave evidence at the trial, an important person, was Simon Patterson, Erin's husband, or estranged husband. It seems like he's the centre of all this, in that Erin hates him with a vengeance, doesn't she? And she would do anything to hurt him. And really, he was the target, wasn't he? Because she tried to kill him several times before. She tried to get him to go to that lunch. He ended up not going. I mean, it still amazes me that he knew, and it seems Don knew, you know, of Erin's previous attempts to kill Simon. And yet this lunch was allowed to go ahead. I would be saying to my relatives, and I really would, you don't go to lunch at that woman's house because she's a psycho. You know, so, but that just shows how naive they are, in my opinion. Don and Gail and Heather and Ian didn't know anything about the previous poisoning attempts, and they were delighted to be invited to Erin's house. Now, it's said that Don knew about the previous, Don at least, if not his wife as well. Why did he go though? Why did he feel that she wouldn't do it to them? You know, I honestly don't. Maybe to me, Don's probably the opposite of me. I'm over cynical. I would always be suspicious. It seems like Don is under cynical. He should have been more suspicious of Erin, but he wasn't, because that's his personality. They were like sacrificial lambs, weren't they? They were like lambs to the slaughter. You know, that's how it feels. It's a horrible feeling. So Simon will probably be there. Well, I don't know if he'll be there, but we won't see him because we'll only see the judge. Will Ian be there for the sentencing? I wonder. Will he be there for the sentencing? And of course, Erin's bestie, Ali, the woman, will she be there? Will she get a proper suit on or something, seeing how she's in the Supreme Court in Melbourne? Or will she be wearing a scruffy jumper and ripped jeans like she was for the verdict from Erin? How can she be? You know, what does she believe Erin's innocent, or is she just supportive of her because she's her friend? I don't know. You know, what is it? Is she in love with Erin? Is this more than is it a sentimental relationship or just a friendship? You know, I don't know. And it doesn't matter really. She's entitled to be friends with whoever she wants to be friends with. I hope she puts something decent on and shows the court the respect that it deserves. But hey, who knows? So these are people that we can think, will they be there? Colin will be there, I'm sure. The prosecution. Defence. I don't know if Simon will be there. So Simon's expressed irritation, hasn't he, about all the, you know, photography and people, you know, the media taking photos, etc. And Ian, like, they weren't there for the verdict. You know, I'm sure they were like, you know, received the verdict by phone or whatever, or maybe video link as soon as possible, but they weren't there in the courtroom for the verdict. And Nanette will be there, of course. Oh my God, this has been a brilliant case for Nanette. You know, it just showed off her expertise as a prosecution lawyer, didn't it? You know, really showed what a good prosecutor she is. How she dotted all the I's, crossed the T's. She didn't let slippery Erin, you know, slip off the hook. I've got to show her going in the hellhole. I love watching her going into the hellhole. Adios, Erin. I mean, she's not strictly, she shouldn't be in there yet because it's after sentencing normally. I might do another photo, a different photo of her after she goes into the hellhole properly when she's had her sentencing. But yeah, so will you all be there? What was I going to say? Hey, David. Hi, David. Got no jobs to do today. No jobs to do today. I hope Mrs. David is okay still. So let me know what you think. I mean, are you all going to be there with me? As soon as I put the notification out. I'll keep reminding people. I mean, where are we now? We're only on Wednesday. So it's next Monday. I'm going to work out the time, set up the live, put the notification out. And yeah. So David, you missed it earlier. I sorted my shower out. Sorry, going back to so not only this is Vicky Marie Chats Crime, you know, and we chat about all sorts of things. I can even give you DIY tips. So if you're trying to unscrew something that's, you know, been for a long time and it's got all calcified and, you know, stuck with lime scale, this is what I did. First of all, I soaked this and the shower head that it came off, the shower hose, soaked it in vinegar and bicarb of soda for about a couple of hours, to be honest. And then what I did just a couple of hours, a couple of minutes after I came on stream, I got one of those long lighter things, and I heated the whole thing, and then obviously with towels, because I didn't want to burn my little fingers, it unscrewed, put a bit of pressure on it and pump. So it's probably a combination of the vinegar, the bicarbonate of soda, and then the heat. And these were tips that I got off Google, because obviously when you heat metal, it expands, so it got a bit bigger. And it's done. So now I've got to get a new shower hose. But do you know what? It's going to cost me about €10. I thought I was looking at a big plumbing job there, having the whole thing replaced, just for the sake of one little attachment that wouldn't unscrew. So I'm happy this morning. I'm happy every morning, but you know, when these little things go wrong, it's just so annoying, isn't it? Now, so that's what I wanted to tell you about. As I say, I'll be putting notifications out for the live stream. I will be there to watch it. Yes, it's a nice feeling when you what's the word? When you manage to do something like DIY wise, you know, save yourself some money. I mean, there are some things like the toilet, I won't be able to fix that. I mean, that's been broken for so long. I've got to get someone out to do that. I don't know how to fix it. I might have a little look at it later, actually. Now I'm like flushed. If you pardon the expression, I'm flushed with success now from my shower thing. So I may have a little look at the toilet, and you never know. I might work out how to do it. Hey. So what else do I just want to tell you about before I finish, because I'm going to wrap up soon. Just interesting things you might be interested in. Don't forget about the Discord, you know, because I did put this in the Discord. So yesterday, quite late on yesterday in the evening, which meant I ended up having a late night because I binge watched this series. I started watching this series on Netflix. Two Graves, or in Spanish it's Dos Tumbas. Now, I don't know if you'll have it on the UK Netflix or Australian or whatever Netflix you're in, but it's been dubbed into English. So, I didn't watch it in Spanish. I watched it in English. It is brilliant. Really, really good. It's 3 parts, the 3 episodes. Really, really good. And it is Spanish. I'll tell you, this guy, I mean, he's a baddie in it, but he's absolutely gorgeous. What's his name? Alvaro Morte. Yeah, very, very attractive man, but he's a baddie, and he plays a good baddie as well. And it's about this grandma whose granddaughter is murdered. And it's just about how she finds out, goes about finding out who did it and getting revenge. Very, very good series. If as I say, it's only 3 episodes. You wanted more, but it's 3 episodes. Lots of twists and turns. 2 Graves in English, or Dos Tumbas in Spanish. And it's funny because it's set, a lot of the places I recognise the places I've been to. Almeria is I've been to many times, which is part of it is set there. So, and a lot of the photography, the scenery, etc., it's just from the south of Spain. You would recognise it. Yeah, very good. Very good. See, and you know, I don't normally like the Spanish. You know, because my Netflix is Spanish. It quite often comes up with Spanish things, obviously, but dubbed into English, or sometimes they're not dubbed into English. And if it's good enough, I'll watch it in Spanish. But they're not, you know, I don't mean to be horrible to it. They're not normally very good, to be honest. I think I don't really like the flow of the way things are filmed in Spain, etc. But this is brilliant, excellent. So I would definitely recommend that if you've not seen it and you like a bit of true crime, which I presume you do if you're watching this channel. Very good. Okay, what else do I want to tell you about? Nothing really. I've got some videos sort of being planned. There's still no more news about baby Emmanuel, as far as I know. Let's just check. You know, and Jack and Lily Sullivan and these sort of cases that we're following. I don't think there's any, you know, proper updates on them. No. Now, one video that I'm prepared. So Barry Morphew, he's one that I want to talk. So, you know, Suzanne Morphew, he's just been denied. He appealed against the fact that his bail was too high or whatever. Anyway, it's been rejected, his appeal, so he's not going anywhere. But his case, or Suzanne's case, and particularly this thing that he's probably chased her around the house with a tranquilizer dart. You know, that's thought to be what happened. It reminded me of a case that I've never covered, and I'm going to cover that. Somebody else who liked hunting women with tranquilizer darts. I'm going to put that together. And then there's another case, a British case of a man who, you know, killed his wife, got away with it for quite a long time, but in the end, you know, justice caught up with him. I think, you know, I like doing those cases, especially the lesser known ones. I like to tell you about cases that are lesser known, that maybe, you know, because everybody's talking about Bryan Kohberger, or, you know, the Idaho 4, or other cases that they go on and on about in the social media. I like to tell you about cases that are a little bit lesser known, that you may not know about, and these people are just as important as the victims in other cases. And I'm not saying that the Idaho 4 victims aren't important. They are very important, but Bryan Kohberger is not important as far as I'm concerned. You know, he's pled guilty, he's been given his life sentences. Forget him. He loves all the attention. I don't want to give him any attention. So, you know, one case that does sort of really bug me, that I don't want to give him attention, that's Stefan Stearns. I don't want to give him attention, but it feels like Madeleine has been cheated of proper justice because he's never had to say what happened. And that's irking me. So I feel like I want to talk about it, but unfortunately talking about it means I have to mention him again. But the reason I want to talk about it is I don't want Madeleine to just be forgotten now. You know, there was all this big flurry around her. And then, of course, he's just pled this no contest. And I don't want it to be like she's never existed or it didn't happen. You know, we want to. So I just don't know how to go about that, really, talking about her without giving him too much attention. But I'm so angry that he's been allowed to just say no contest, not even admit he's guilty. You know, it bugs me. It literally bugs me. It's on my mind quite often in the day, that I feel like he's got away with accountability. Do you know, even though he's got his life sentence and stuff, he's not been made accountable, or even been made, he's never been made to even say he's guilty. And we don't know what happened to her. You know, what happened to her? You know, she didn't just die by accident. I mean, he'd probably say she did. I still think he might have given her too much sedative. That's maybe what happened. But then there was this thing about her being strangled. Why would she have been strangled unless it was an SEX act that went wrong? You know, I just don't know. But anyway. I think that's it. Don't think there was a... So I'm going to go off and buy myself a shower hose now. I'm going to fix my shower. Shh. Shh. Hey. That's the chihuahuas barking outside. So she's, yeah. She was trying to have a sleep on the sofa. You're trying to sleep on the sofa, aren't you? In that bloody chihuahua. Yeah, the autopsy, Bluebell said, what did it say? It was what was the cause of death? It didn't talk about strangulation. I don't think it wasn't definitive, I'm pretty sure. And then, of course, because there was no trial, which I'm glad there's not been a trial, because you wouldn't want all those pictures, you know, for her sake, wouldn't want her humiliated in court. But because there's been no trial, we haven't heard from the forensics and everything properly, have we? Like you would if they said there's an 80-page investigation report was released on the 29th of August last year. And they did say she was strangled to death. So why is he not being made to say what happened? So she'd been killed by strangulation and classified her death as a homicide. Yeah. How's he getting away with it? How's he getting away with not having to say what happened to her? Bye, David. I know. It's wrong, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to. So I'll see you soon in the next video. And yeah, join me. Don't forget on Monday if you can for the live, or at least maybe you'll be able to watch it on replay. I'll see you I'll be seeing you before then. See you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.